Do I even need to say it? I think we all know it's Apex. But is that hate really justified? Or did they just manage to sell us the biggest dream of 20 accounts and had us all doing the math on how to become a millionaire in a couple months? Today, I'll break down why Apex gets so much hate, the psychology traps built into all the prop firms, and how to avoid flipping into gambler mode and blowing up one account after another, after another, after another. Okay, you get it. All right, let's check out the trade that I took today. So at this point, after the open, uh, basically price had come straight down. The MA was down. I used the 90 MA on the 1 minute chart. It was down probably close to 100 points here, 80 to 100 points. So I'm looking to get in short below the low of this candle, but I'm ready to close it because it didn't trigger on that one. So now I'm looking at getting in short on this next one here. So this one's only going to have a 15-point stop. And I, so normally I always go 1.5 to 1. I am contemplating when it has a smaller stop, like 10 to 15-point stop, that I go for 2 to 1 on them. I don't know. It's something I'm going to have to look at and track a little bit more closely to see if it would make sense to make that switch. So I didn't really take any heat on this trade. It's very quick, got that huge bear bar, and the trade won. So up 22 points today. I liked them because they were the cheapest. I thought this is amazing. I can, spend I think like on sale 20, definitely 20 to $30 for a 25K account, which is awesome. I didn't start with the 25K account. I started with the $300,000 account because, I was going to get rich and I wanted to be able to trade 20 20 minis on the NQ. Um, so they're the cheapest firm, but it's easy in, easy out with that. Blowing up doesn't really sting when it's 30 bucks. And I think it gets you in the mindset of like, oh, whatever, I'll just, cancel that one and buy another one. Resets are cheaper than being disciplined. It feels easier to buy new accounts and just get that fresh start over and over again than to learn the restraint that you actually need to stay in trading. Then there's the marketing, that dream of the 20 accounts. I mean, I don't know. I think if any of you have looked at prop firms, you've definitely seen that and thought about, copy trading 20 accounts and done the math on like, oh, if I just made $200 a day across 20 accounts, I'm rich. So I think they really sucked us in with that. I still hold the Apex 20 account dream. I'm not going to lie. I do plan on when I feel like I'm good enough going back and trying to get those 20 accounts and make the money. Influencer payouts are another, I think, reason that we hate Apex. It's these big names flaunting their huge payouts from their 20 accounts when they're not showing us what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know how many accounts they blew. We don't know how many accounts Apex gave them for free. We just don't know. We're just seeing these huge payouts. Apex feeds the dream, and I think it makes failure pretty cheap, which is going to fuel both the attraction and the resentment. All prop firms create this fast track mindset where you think you can skip years of hard work and trading because you don't have to build up your little personal account slowly from, $1,000 or $2,000 up to 100,000. You can just start with $100,000 account. We all know it's not actually $100,000 that you're getting to trade, but I think when you get into the prop firms, you definitely feel that way. Then there's the rules of the prop firms. There's all these sort of arbitrary targets, right? So first you need to, pass the initial target. And then you need to, once you're in a funded account, then you've got a buffer amount that you need to pass. So there's another target. And then there's the deadlines. You want to get it done within the month, or you've got that sort of looming in your head that the account renewal is coming up. Then there's the trailing drawdowns. Some firms don't have trailing drawdowns. Top Step doesn't have a trailing drawdown. I used them for a while. Apex has it on both the evals and the funded. Take Profit Trader, which is what I use, does not have a trailing drawdown on the eval, but it does have it on the funded. So if you're going to use them, then definitely be aware of that and then trade accordingly. The gambler cycle. Prop firms really get us into this really negative cycle in our trading of just blow an account, buy a new one, and repeat that cycle over and over and over again. If you haven't seen my video on how much I spent on prop firms, it's a lot, like $15,000 of that gambler cycle over the past 3 years. So these seemingly cheap accounts, they add up and they do real damage. I could have put that, obviously, could have put that $15,000 instead into a little personal account, and obviously that would have been way better for me and my trading than spending it on the prop firms. And then there's the emotional toll that these prop firms and the rules and this cycle takes on us. I think every reset, even though it feels like a clean slate and you're getting to start over again and you're still seeing all the money that you can make with the prop firms, I think it chips away at our confidence. For me, I know for sure it chipped away at my confidence in my strategies, in my trading system, in my ability to just follow the rules and stick to a plan. And also the discipline. It's really hard on your discipline and your mindset when you're constantly blowing up these accounts and resetting. Every time you blow up, it's like I failed. I feel like a failure. I'm a loser. I can't do this. But of course, I'm going to try again. How do we make prop firms work for us? How do we stop their rules of sabotaging our trading? How do we stop whether it's the 20 account dream or even the 5 account dream from getting in our head and chipping away at our patience and our discipline? So I think the first thing that you should do is to cap your monthly attempts. For me now, it's a max of 1 eval per month. Luckily, I've been in the same one for a few months now. But if I blow the account, then it's back to 1 eval per month. You could do 2. But I think then the rule needs to be that after you blow up that account, you're back on sim until the next month when it renews. That alone could have saved me a lot of money. And I think forcing myself to switch to sim after blowing up would have actually helped me then, instead of putting the focus on the money and the P&L, onto my process. So while it seemed like resetting and getting back in was going to get me there quicker, I think actually switching to sim probably would have got me where I wanted to go quicker. Try and treat every account like it's your last, because that's what you want, right? You want, unless, my goal is to build my account up, take a payout, and then, get another account going. But before that happens, you need to have the mindset that you're going to keep this account, it's going to be a funded account, and you're going to make money off of it. Forget about scaling up instantly. Start on a small position. For me, that's 2 micros on the 25K account with $1,500 of drawdown. Maybe I'll do a video just on prop firm risk management here soon. But I think an easy starting point would be maybe like 1 micro per $500 to $750 of drawdown. If you want to be really conservative, do 1 micro per $1,000 of drawdown. It's going to take a long time, but in the long run, I think it will actually end up taking you less time and costing you less money. Focus on the process, not the payouts. This is so hard because trading's all about money and we get into it wanting to make money. But I think if you can keep your focus on your strategy and your process and just executing your trades and journaling your trades and not taking random trades, forcing, going on tilt and all of that, then I think you have a much better shot at it and you'll spend less money on those prop firms. And just, yeah, keep your eye on the big picture. The real goal is staying disciplined and profitable long term, not surviving whatever prop firm's rules. I think Apex really pissed people off and I noticed this because I was still listening to other traders' live streams at the time, But when they brought in their consistency rules, and then when they also brought in their dollar cost averaging rules, so you couldn't add on to losers, I don't know. I guess, and then they started um, rejecting a lot of payout requests from people. Not from, I don't think from their affiliates or the people who have a large social media presence, but I think, the people that don't have a big enough platform to say, hey, I'm getting screwed out of a payout. I think, they got hit with that. So that's where I think a lot of the Apex hate came from, was when people started making money, they started, figure out how to game the system. Then Apex came in and changed it up so that they couldn't do that anymore. So is Apex the worst prop firm? Or are they just the easiest one to hate because they sold us the biggest dream that, the vast majority of us are not realizing? I think the real problem isn't Apex, it's how we approach prop firms. And they want us to approach them in these negative ways that we are approaching them. That's how they make money. So it's not like, oh, the prop firms want us to succeed. They don't. But I think if we can build discipline here in the prop firms, then you can trade anywhere. I don't know. What do you think? Is the Apex hate justified? I know that a lot of you trade with Apex. I started off with them. I think they draw in the beginners for sure with the cheap prices and the 20 account dream. I think that Apex is definitely better suited to more experienced traders and traders who already have a solid plan and their discipline under control. I don't know. What do you think? And if you left Apex, are you going to give them another chance? Are you going to go back for those 20 accounts like I plan on doing one day, maybe next year? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. All right. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, leave me a like, comment, subscribe. I love hearing from you. And I will see you back here tomorrow. If I don't see you back here tomorrow, it's not because I blew up my account. It is because I hate to admit this, but like my back and neck and hips are getting sore from having to sit down and work on my computer so much, making the videos and doing all the YouTube stuff. So if I'm not here tomorrow, that's why I took a sort of yoga day instead of a computer day. All right. We'll see you tomorrow, maybe.